Craftin' buddies, it's Lori, late night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin'. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from the United States. I didn't intend on being late, but you know, YouTube sometimes doesn't want to cooperate, so it was before midnight when I started trying. Okay, let me get some of my ducks in a row and we'll see where we're at. We may not have audio. Do we have audio? Oh, we do have audio. What do you know? The wonders never cease. Hello, everybody. How is everybody? How was your Tuesday? My iPad does not want to cooperate, so let's back that up. See if I can get it to comply. There we go. Okay. Jiminy's. Why do things have to be so difficult? All right, so hello, Sandra and Yuda. You had a swim in the river? How warm is it by you? See, I always think Canada's colder than us. Oh, that's right, Sandra. You had some cleaning assists today. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Quickie. You know where to find my stuff, right? LateNightLori.StampinUp.net. Sale on designer series paper, cardstock, two-tone cardstock. Most everything, except brand new stuff coming out, is 15% off, but only for a few more days. It ends on the 31st. And here is a sneak peek of September's product of the month. Isn't this beautiful? It's metallic. It's specialty designer series paper. 12 sheets, 3 designs. You get 4 of each. Gold, Peaceful Pine, Pecan Pie, and Secret Sea. It is single-sided, okay? But that's what's coming in September. Beautiful. All right, who wants to play? I don't know, I feel like I've been busy, but not busy, that I should have all my ducks in a row better, but I don't. So we're going to play. We're going to play. But first, let's look at our Happy Mail. Look at what I got today. Sandra, how cute is that? And is this a foiling die, or was this a regular die that you experimented with? Isn't that precious? Can you see that? And it's all, the sentiment is foiled. It was a foiling die, huh? Oh, that's cool. Very cool. So even, you can see even the design here is all foiled. Precious. So thank you, Sandra, for my Happy Mail. Oh my goodness, Yuda, 92? Wow. I guess it's never been that warm when I've been in Canada. So thank you for the Happy Mail. I love this. If you are not part of Happy Mail Club, go over to my Facebook page. There are a couple of posts pinned to the top of the page. One gives all of the information on how to sign up, and the other is a place for us to post some of our fun little Happy Mails. So, we have a big mess on my table, let me tell you. It's a mess. Everything was kind of like cleaned up yesterday because I had my studio time open. Oh, and don't forget, how cute are these new premium Stampin' Spots? And if you didn't see yesterday, when we inked our own uninked one with Night of Navy, it worked like a dream. Okay, so I haven't looked at this. Let's look to see if anything's like bubbling or oozing or anything. And it's not. It looks great. It looks absolutely great. Hello, Allie. Haven't seen you for a little bit here. So yeah, it was the foam formula that I put in here, but I had never mixed this. This was an uninked one, so I had never mixed it with anything else, and it's responding just fine. Hopefully we will get some miniature labels for these adorable miniature premium Stampin' Spots. So drink up, everybody. All right. They're bigger than the old Stampin' Spots. They're easier to hold than the old Stampin' Spots. They're cuter than the old Stampin' Spots. And you don't have to store them upside down like the old Stampin' Spots. All right. We are going to play, and I don't know exactly what we want to play with. Do we want to play with some pine cone stuff? Or do we want to play with the sunflowers and trying to foil with the embossing folder? Hello, Rosemary. Welcome. Foiling. Of course, foiling. Oh, no, never mind. That was an old comment. So sunflowers, I'm going to try to use my, remember we did some foiling with the sunflowers. Now, let me just show you. I was playing, which is kind of why I kind of lost a little track of time. I was playing with the masks, and I had actually made my own mask out of window sheet because I thought I would color some embossing paste because that's something I haven't done for a while. But I opened my embossing paste and I worried that it's been a while since I used it and it was all too thick to use. So I have embossing paste in my cart so that I can buy a new jar. That stuff doesn't last forever. I put saran wrap in it and try to put the cap on nice and tight, but I haven't used it for a very long time. So this may be a project for another day, but I did want to show you kind of what I was playing with. On the design, I did this on the designer series paper with some of the white ink. Excuse me, some of the white ink, and then I used actually crisp cantaloupe that I did those sunflowers or the pine area with. So you can see the white, of course, that's in there. But the rest of this I did with crisp cantaloupe. It looks like it's brown, but it's crisp cantaloupe. And then I used peaceful pine. And then I did use a little bit of pecan pie just for some of the accents on the top. And then I thought I would stamp it and see how nicely the detailed image looks on it. So I may finish that tomorrow and just see what it looks like. So I'm going to put that over with my pine cone pile, and let's play with some, sorry, I got to gather all my goodies. Let's play with some foiling. Okay, I think I have all the pine cone stuff I think is out of the way. All right, I am going to go ahead and plug in the foiling machine. Once I find the end of the power cable. So how was your Tuesday, those of you who are just coming on with me? How was your Tuesday? Ours was fun. We still had our granddaughter here today. We usually have her Monday and Tuesday during the summer. So we did a couple of errands and ended up at a park in another city or village or town or something. And she played and we had lunch and yeah, the day just flew by. So your current yarn is a mix of cherry cobbler, old olive, pecan pie, and flirty flamingo. That sounds like a yarn that I have used in the past. I wonder if I have that Afghan in the living room. Who wants me to go see if I have my Afghan that might have those colors? Is it in the living room or is it in a box stored because it's a Christmassy one? Okay, so while we're waiting for this to heat up, I have a piece of gold foil cut. Yes, you want me to go get my Afghan? All right. While this is warming up, I'll just get that out. Chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I'm back. No, I can't find the one that I had the variegated. But this is one that I made for my mother years ago. Can you see this? Oh, let me back up a little bit. I don't want to get it on here because I don't want it to like melt anything. So I don't know if you can see there's like a bubble stitch on here. There, you can see that. But I know I did something with that. I did a variegated, oh, there's a little dog hair on there. I did something with some variegated yarn like that. It's really pretty. What brand yarn do you use? Or are you brand loyal or do you just like whatever has what you need? And then these I thought was a cool stitch because they're actually loops that you work over a previous row. Isn't that cool? That was fun to do. It's done in 3 panels. It's really big. But I made that for my mother, so. Oh, hello, Rosa Vera. Yeah, I like to be diverse in my crafting. Although paper crafting has really just kind of absorbed all of my time, it seems. So we are going to be brave and daring, and we are going to emboss on the front, or we're going to foil on the front of an embossing folder. We did this the other day. First we embossed on the back, and the back is it seemed more substantial because it's got more of the plastic. It's thicker because of how the design pushes up from the back. And this doesn't have as much. So remember when I did this last time, did this beep while I was gone, by the way? Probably not. It's got to warm up for like 6 minutes. The front doesn't have quite as much plastic because it's depressed, right? So that the back can push up on it. So it warped a little bit. Now, I wasn't really worried about it because as it cooled and I held it flat or I put it under my embossing machine, it straightened right out. It was a different embossing folder, not this one, but we're going to try not to ruin this. Okay? So let me just, one other thing I should do is look it up and see if, okay, it's still available. So if I do mess it up, I can always order another one. It's only plastic, right? All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to foil gold on Golden Glow, I think. Do you think that would look nice? And we're going to do this. So it's going to go on the machine like this. And we're going to say a prayer, and we're going to cross our fingers, and we're going to hope that it's all going to work okay. So that's what we're going to do. And then let's see what color. Let me look at my Golden Glow. Oh, I didn't bring Golden Glow over here. Let me see what some of the coordinating colors are. If we're doing sunflowers, we could do Cajun Craze and Early Espresso. We could do Lost Lagoon and Pecan Pie. These pinks, Bubble Bath and Berry Burst, are not something that I would have thought would have gone with Golden Glow. What do you think we want to do for coordinating colors? Anybody? Let me zoom this back up just a little bit here. Cajun Craze. Okay. Now remember, I am out of Cajun Craze, so we're working with two-tone cardstock today. So let me go get a piece of that. Although, you know what I could do? I think, no, I don't even have enough for a good size layer. This is all I've got of my Cajun Craze. So we'll just use two-tone cardstock. It'll be fine. We'll decide what size we want it to be in a minute. So we can do, I'm going to foil on the Golden Glow. But as far as like a layer, maybe we should do Cajun Craze and the Early Espresso as the base. We could. Or did I bring... I have Pecan Pie. We could do these three together also. That would probably be a pretty fall. The middle color, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie. Because those three would work pretty good, even though they're not straight on the wheel there. Okay. Embossing folder. We did it before on the back. We're going to do it on the front. So that's the side with the Stampin' Up! Logo. And we are going to put it on here and heat it up. All right. Is that how I did it last time? I don't remember. I think I'm going to put my foil on here right away. And did we use all the right, did we use the plates? What plates did we use? Because I want it to kind of stay flat on here and warm up, right? Let me see if I can find a sample. It is a beautiful folder. Hello, Denise. No worries. No worries. Oh, it's curling a little bit. Tanya, welcome. No, I didn't press the button either, did I? Or did I? I don't know. So the embossing folder is curling a little bit. Hopefully it's not gonna like go crazy and melt and ruin my machine, right? No, we're doing all right so far. It's a little nerve-wracking. But at least if I mess up, you know that you shouldn't try this at home. Don't try this at home. There, I think it's staying a little flatter now. All right, let's move this out of the way. Okay, it's ready. So I'm gonna get it off of here pretty quickly. I'm gonna take that off. Let's get Bossy Bessie up here. Now, I don't remember what, oh, I don't have to use any extra plates, do I? Or different plates, but the embossing folder is a little bit thicker than a metal die. Will this go through? No, it doesn't want to go through. Okay, so let's take this off. Let's see, will this, that has no tension. Let me go get one of my shims here. Foiling shim alternate. I didn't label these, so let's do this and see if it works. Oh, there's no tension there either. I don't remember what I did. Does anybody else remember what I did? That doesn't have any tension on it either. I don't feel like that has any tension. Maybe it does. I wonder if I kept any of my samples. Do we remember what I did? Well, that did have a little tension. A book board for a shim. Okay, well, that was this one. That was the thicker one. Well, let's take this off and see if it worked. I need to label my shims. Let's see if this, nope, it didn't stick at all. Okay, oh, I wonder if this is the one we just used a regular plate number 3. Let's try it again. Let's get Bossy Bessie back up here. Let's pop this through here. Oh, that might be it. That might be the trick, because that's got a little bit more tension. So instead of either of the shims for the foiling machine, I used a shim number 3 from the regular cutting machine. Let's see if this does anything. Okay. See, I should have written down what we did. Nope, that didn't work either. Okay, what did we do, Lori? And I don't know, maybe it's not hot enough anymore either, because it's not all that warm. All right, so let's put this shim on and this shim. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe we need the, yeah, maybe we need plate number 4. Oh my goodness, you guys. How come I can't remember what we did? And how come that doesn't want to go through? That does not want to go through at all. What did we do? Hello, Donna. Try warming it again. Yeah, but I can't even get the sandwich to go through. All right. So I don't think it was this one. Let's warm it up again. All right. So that's going to go like that. Let's warm this up again. See what happens. Let me see if I can find some samples. No. Okay. Oh, wait. Spritzed and cut. Dry, spritzed. Well, that wasn't an embossing folder, so that doesn't help. I know, we need to watch my other video. Let me, let's go to the lives and just see. When did I do that? I don't even remember when it was. Maybe one of my thumbnails will give me a clue. We will figure this out. We'll figure it out. All right, let's. So July. All right, I have an idea. Who has some other thoughts? It's getting warm again, at least. Oh, you know what it was? I probably should have warmed this up first. Yeah, I warmed this, but probably not the embossing folder. We'll figure it out. So we'll wait for this to warm up. Then I'll put the embossing folder on it. We'll push that when it's warm. We'll put the embossing folder on. The foil. I just need to figure out what the right plate is for this. So I wonder if we did the green one with a chipboard. It might have been like that. I need to take better notes, right? So I'm still kind of scrolling through some of my other videos to see if I can find a thumbnail that makes sense. Yuda, you don't have a foiling system like that. Yours is the mink. And I've never heard of that, so. I'm still scrolling through on my computer. So you didn't put the plate on first. All right, so let's put the folder, right? And we'll heat it up a little bit more. But we know that just the green one wasn't enough. Maybe, so if we do, let me find this one. If the green one wasn't enough, maybe we'll do it with just this one. Because the green one is super thin. Maybe we just need this one. We'll figure it out. I just don't want that to curl off of there because it needs to be kind of warmed up, right? That's why I was trying to put the foil on here. See, I should have played with this beforehand, but I didn't get around to it. And I kind of want to capture that big sunflower right there. Okay. So that's all done. Oh. Do I have to close this, don't I? I didn't close it. Maybe that was my problem. I didn't close it. I put it through open. Because I have to close it to get the impression to go through. Oh, how silly am I? All right. So let's see. I gotta have something on here. So let's do the green shim and see what happens. Will it go through? Well, that was my problem, you guys. I didn't close the embossing folder. Do you think that might make a difference? We'll see. Holy cow. I wonder if the impressions plate would have helped. I never thought about that. Oh, well. Yeah, I suppose it would help if I had both sides of the folder closed. Let's see if that worked. Oh, that might have worked. No, not enough pressure. Because we only got a little bit on there. Oh, bummer, bummer. So this is not turning out how I wanted it to turn out. No. And I can't get it to line up how I want it either. I'm going to have to cut another piece of gold, I think. That didn't pick up enough. This is kind of pretty though, but it doesn't look how I wanted it to look. All right, and I got to straighten out my folder because it's curvy, which I expected. All right, let me think. This was going to be I was hoping it was going to be so pretty. Now your bookboard shim, maybe that instead of the green one. We'll let this cool off a little bit. I suppose I could plug this back in because we'll want it warmed up again. Is anybody bored yet? So when we figure it out, somebody take notes. I'm somehow thinking that it was a number 3 plate. I'm still trying to scroll through stuff too. You're watching. Did you find my video? All right, so this is cooled off and it's pretty much flattened out. It'll be fine. I wanted to foil on this, so let's hope we can get it to work. The aimlessly wandering soul, Annie. Welcome back, Annie. We're experimenting tonight. I'm waiting for this to warm up. So I'm trying to watch a video too. Rosemary, did you find anything yet? I need to inventory my videos so I remember what I do on what video, because that might help too. Now this other video I'm watching shows the embossing folder as open. All right, so let's try this again. So we're gonna put the front on here. We're gonna warm it up. 236 by you, and we are at 1230. We just flipped to 1237. Janice Driver, welcome from Vancouver, Washington. Thanks for joining us. Put on the foil. Oh, I have to cut another piece of foil. Let me get, where did my gold go? Because this one's got some pieces out of it. Put on the foil. All right, we'll put on the foil. Did I press the button? I must have. So those of you coming in late, this is Flying by the Seat of Your Pants with Late Night Lori. And we're just, we're trying to do sunflowers here with the foiling. All right, foil is on. Rosemary's calling the shots right now. Whoa, I almost lost my whole roll of foil. All right, so it says it's ready. Okay, foil and cardstock. I have to get another piece of cardstock here. Let me put this back in the box so it doesn't unroll everywhere. Donna, welcome. I don't remember if I saw you before. I don't think so. All right, another piece of cardstock. Cardstock. Cardstock, got it. This isn't the pearl cardstock. This is regular cardstock. Somebody said something about pearl. Let's see. Okay, what next? It's ready. What layer should I put on, ladies? Chop, chop. You're doing it right. Yeah, I think there wasn't enough pressure. But I wonder if, what if I try the impressions plate? Let's see what that does. Because the one I was just watching, oh, that's a little warm on there. Close the folder. Yeah, but the one I was watching, the folder was left open. I'm going to try it. It seems like I left it open the first time. That's not going to be enough pressure. Let's put my little thin shim on here. Yeah, I think for the foiling on here, it needs to be open. I don't know if that's giving me enough pressure though. I tried it with the folder closed and it didn't really do anything, Allie. And then I can't remember either if this was one where somebody said they ran it through really fast and it worked. Let's... No, that didn't work either. Let me see if I can get better pressure with the 3 plate and the green. Let's see if that goes through. Oh, I guess I can't put it through with the silicone mat. Oh, maybe this will work. So I've got the green shim and the number 3. So somebody from Australia did it? Yeah, some things are trial and error. Because, you know, embossing folders weren't designed to be foiled on, but we're pressing the limits. We're pushing the limits. So this is giving me more pressure, so maybe this will work. It's not difficult. Hopefully I'm not breaking anything. Hopefully I'm not breaking my buttons on here. That would be a bad thing, wouldn't it? Because I have my plates down over the buttons. That's not a good thing. Okay. I'm going to plug this in and make sure I didn't break it. Ooh, that would be bad. Whew. All right, let's just see what happened here, if anything happened. Oh, well, we at least got a little bit more impression than we got before. But not what I was looking for. So I thought, let me think. They put the folder on when you run it through the system. I know I did it, and it wasn't that hard the last time. And it was using the front. Oh, let's try it using the back for a change. I don't know. Where was I? We were like this. I'll line it up like this. We can't make it any worse than it was, right? Oh, except this has to be face down now. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right, let's plug this in again. Karen Buttery used her reverse plate first. Well, how do you do your reverse plate when you're trying to use the embossing folder? Because I didn't do that before, and it worked. I just don't remember what I did with my sample. Because I may have put notes on my sample, but I don't have it here. So are you saying that the, that's last, she didn't heat it. So Sandra, so you're saying the reverse plate and then the embossing folder will go on top of the reverse plate? Because I didn't have my reverse plate when I tried it the first time. All right, well, let's try putting the reverse plate on. Okay, so here's the, well, it wouldn't matter. That's fine. We'll put it on there. All right, reverse plate. So there are other demonstrators having trouble with this too. Yeah. I had done it before because I had watched a couple of the gals before. Okay, so I've got the reverse on. I don't remember doing that before. And then I'm going to have to cut another piece of foil so that we're ready. Well, at least we're getting some shapes on here, right? I guess that's not too bad, but there's hardly any texture on there. At least this one we got some texture. Yes, Annie, it is tricky, but we will persevere and hopefully come up with something that we can use. All right, so let's just do another layer of gold here. And let me get another piece of Golden Glow. So I've got this at 4 1/4 by 5-ish. I'll just do 5 1/2. I don't remember. Well, I didn't have the reverse plate before, so I wonder what I used. All right, so did this beep? I don't think this beeped at me yet, did it? All right, so folder on when you run it through the system. Reverse plate, foil cardstock. Okay, we'll get to that. I'm still waiting for that red light to stop flashing. I found a video from Linda Dulkey in Australia. Donna, is that who you might have been watching? And right now she's putting, actually she's using this embossing folder. She put the embossing folder right on the heater. So you're saying the reverse, then the foil. Oh, right. Is that right? And then, did I press the button? I did, right? And then the folder will go this way? I'm a little warped here. So the folder will go this way and then run it through the machine? I don't remember doing it that way before, but that might be a better way because then this won't get quite as hot. No, that can't. Then I have to use the back though, because the back is what's going to push it up. And then I'm just going to, well, we'll have to try it with the back then. Because I know I did it both ways. I did it using the back and I did one using the front. All right, Rosemary, what's next? So I've got the foil on there. I've got the cardstock. That's on the reverse plate, which I didn't have before. Yeah, put the back. And that, I don't think that's the kind of image I wanted, but we'll work with it. We'll roll with it. because I know when I did this technique before, I did not have that reverse plate yet. All right, so let's go ahead and put this up here. And then we're going to put the back on here. And then plate 3. And some kind of wedge, huh? I want to make sure this doesn't go over my buttons again. That was a little scary. Because I even have this marked as foiling alternate shim. That does not want to go through voluntarily. That does not want to go through. Yeah, that's not grabbing. All right, we'll try it with some cardstock. That's might want to go through. Okay, so that was pretty stiff. So let's just see, maybe this is going to work. This is kind of stiff, so don't try this at home yet until we see if it works. This is really stiff. And I sure don't want to break my foiling machine. Ah, a little scary. But it worked. At least by this account, it worked. Okay, so now we need to find, let me take this off of here. We need to put this in the embossing machine, in the embossing folder. It would have been this way, but I need to line it up exactly where it needs to be, right? Because now I need to put I just got the foiling on there. Now I need to put the impression on there. So I think we're right about, no, we're right about here. All right, so this is a newfangled way of doing it because this is not the way I did it when I first tried. Okay, this is not lining up. Why is it not lining up? Okay, I guess that's going to have to be close enough. All right. I need my base. And this. And where did my plate 4 is here. Oh, this is, I need to, yeah, that's right. I'm not going over. I was worried about it being on my buttons, but I don't have the heat one in there. Oh, this is so stressful. Oh. Whoever suggested we try this with embossing folders. But it's gorgeous. Okay, so I need to write this down. I need to write it down. Let me find a good piece of paper. And then we're going to try to recreate this following the instructions that I write down, and we'll see if it works. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way for right now. Okay. So that's new since I had the reverse foiling plate. Okay. And then I'm going to hang on to this too because this is really quite pretty. And we can do this with the super smooth paper. That'll be quite pretty. All right, let me get a pen. So we did, there we go. All right. We need the reverse plate or the reverse die. Preheat. Add reverse die. Continue heating. Add foil. Shiny side down, you guys. Is shiny EY? That looks funny. Shiny side down. Add cardstock. Use plate 3. Right? Is that where we were? And I'm going to call this the SCEM, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss Machine, okay? Use plate 3 from the SCEM. Add thin cardstock shim if needed. All right, run through the SCEM. And then return foiled cardstock to embossing folder and run through SCEM with plate 4. Does that sound right? Folder back. That's a good idea. I don't even have it. I didn't even put that on here. Cardstock. Add embossing folder. Whoops. Embossing folder. I didn't even put that step on here. Okay. Add embossing folder using back only. Oh, thanks for the tutelage, all of you. Okay, so preheat. We're going to add the reverse die. We're going to continue heating. So let's just start doing this. Oh, what fun we'll have tonight when we foil the night away. All right. Preheat, add the reverse die. This is really quite pretty. It didn't quite line up. Do you think I went too fast? I couldn't get it lined up in my embossing folder very well. Because some of it's lined up, and maybe it's just because the foiling didn't catch on some of these smaller pieces. I guess it is lined up for the most part. That's really pretty. That is really quite pretty. Okay, so while we're on a little break here, what do you think of these premium Stampin' Spots? Are those not the cutest little things? And there's uninked ones. This set comes as a 3-pack. It's a trio, right? Gulp, 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 because there's 3 packs. These uninked ones also come in a 3-pack. These, I believe, are 21, and I believe these are 18. These are the Harvest and Holly that are coming out September 1st. Oh, you were giving me the yay when I went too fast writing it down. Yeah. Oh, it just came unplugged. I must not have had it. I must have been leaning on it or something. Let me put that back on the hook. Yeah, I need a drink of water too, because that worked up. I worked up like a sweat doing that, you guys. Wow. Okay. I did try the Stampin' Spot yesterday. And it worked splendidly. What did I make with it? I'm thinking. I did a sentiment with it. We're still playing the drinking game. Why not? I think we'll play the drinking game until September 1st. Unless you think it's getting too old right now. But here's the Night of Navy. Let me get a little sentiment. You know, we could use this one because we're using the reverse plate. We could do this, and I'll get the super white. We'll get the super smooth. And then I'm not going to have to cut more. I need a bigger piece, though. I'm going to have to order some more of this smooth foiling paper, too. All right, so I did, what, 4 1/4, right? 4 1/4. And that cuts like butter. Just like butter. All right. And I'm trying to keep that super smooth stuff with my foiling stuff. But I will use my instructions because it'll still be, oh, but it'll be thinner cardstock. All right, I'll cut a new piece and we'll do it the exact same way. You convinced me. You convinced me. All right, I'm still gonna go like 4 1/4. Get my craft knife. I love how easy that is. All right. I think working with those pine cones might have been a little easier. But then, you know, the other thing we could do with this is, no, probably not. I was going to say if we ink up, yeah, we could probably ink up the front with a dark color and make it like the, what, Joseph's coat or something, or whatever that is. My coat of many colors made me think of Dolly Parton. Sad to see her go. Actually, at 80, that seemed pretty young to me. Doesn't that seem kind of young to you guys? I guess the closer I get to 80, the younger I think it is. No, I got a ways to go, but still. All right, let me get another piece of cardstock. All right, we got another piece of cardstock. We're good. Okay, so reverse die. Add the foil, shiny side down. Add the cardstock. Oh, I needed to reheat it. I should have done that already. Yeah, something that I said, or something that I read, I mean, said that she had been sick for a time, like not super long, but, you know, she had kind of been getting, excuse me, quite a bit thinner the last few times when we saw her, so. Okay, so she did have cancer later in life. I haven't followed her, but man, was she an entertainer or what? Oh, here's what we did with the Night of Navy ink spot. Right there. So this was our card from last night. And I was going to make this a gift card because it says a gift for you, right? So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make another layer with the Night of Navy, and I'm going to put like an angular pocket on one side. I'm going to do more embossed, and I'm going to accentuate that pocket, and we'll put a gift card inside with a sentiment piece. Just so you know, I kind of left it unfinished. I didn't realize that. Yeah, Cancer sucks. And I know after her husband died, she was really quite sad. All right, so here we go again. Now, we are going to move these super cute premium Stampin' Spots. All right, move those out of the way. Keep my notes where I can see them, right? We're going to bring Bossy Bessie up here because you folks all need to see this. All right, Bossy Bessie to the rescue. This is coming here. And we are going to add the embossing folder, the back. And I'm just going to put it through this way just because it's easier. Okay, so the back. And I'm going to put it, ooh, that was a little warm. Kept my finger there a little long. I'm going to put the back like even with the bottom of, you can't see that. I'm going to put it even with the bottom of the cardstock. All right, use plate 3 from the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You have a lady who sings Dolly songs. That's so cool. All right. Let's see if I need a shim. Maybe we don't even need a shim because it was really hard. So I had put on here, use a thin shim if needed. So let's just go slow. So I'm trying to go super slow. Enjoying your Pellegrino? I'm having water. Bone cancer is horrible. Ovarian cancer is horrible. She's in remission though. That is awesome. You have thyroid cancer. I had Hodgkin's. I was diagnosed in stage 4. That was back in the late 90s. Stage 4 is the last stage. There's no stage 5. And here I am, like 29 years later. Welcome, Roz. It's all right that you're late. All right, we're, holy cow, sorry if I shook you up. We are foiling with our embossing folders. Well, just the sunflower one. All right, so let's take this off. Yes, Denise, I have that on my list. I think I had, yes, stage 4 colon cancer. All right, so this is here. I am going to leave this piece. I should have tried to be a little bit more careful to leave it in there. I'm going to scooch this over. And then if I would have been a little bit more careful, I might have been able to get this lined up a little easier. But I think we'll get it figured out. All right, because we want to keep it in the embossing folder as best we can so that the design lines up. I think I got it good. All right. Now, back with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Where is my platform? Oh, there it is. And we're going to run it through just like we would a normal 3D embossing folder. Yeah, positive outlook is really huge. I guess I don't need to run this through super slow like I do. My kids didn't know how sick I was. People at work didn't know how sick I was. One of my employees didn't even know. She was a newer employee. She didn't even know I wore a wig. I did not want people to know I was sick. I didn't want somebody to look at me and say, oh my goodness, she's got cancer. I worked. It was therapeutic for me. Oh, I knocked my lamp over. So I tried to keep things as normal as possible. My kids eventually had to help around the house more, but... Oh, I guess I probably should have peeled this off first, huh? No. Look at that. Oh, Marjorie, I'm just reading your comment now. Welcome. All right, so this is quite pretty. What did I do with my first one? Here's the first one. So we recreated it. It worked out fine. So now let's do, yes, I'm sorry for everybody who has family going through that because it sucks. Oh my goodness. Did he know and not tell anybody, or did he just ignore that he was ill? Because I know people that ignore. So this is a little warped. I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot because it's still going to function. I will put it under something heavy like I did last time, and it should be fine. I'll put it like under a shim under my Stampin' Cotton Emboss machine or something, and it should be okay. All right, so now do we want to try to work with these, or should we try to make a project out of this? I don't know what to do. So that's funny. This one I peeled it off before I ran it through the embossing folder, and it's flat. And this one I didn't peel off until after, and it's bumpy. Yeah, that's how my grandmother was. I think she knew. She ended up with, is it glioblastoma, the bad brain cancer? And she didn't tell anybody. I think she knew. But she didn't want to tell anybody. You know, because if we ignore things, sometimes they'll go away, right? Yeah, it's very sad. All right, let's try to do something quick with this. I am going to move these things off to the side for just a minute. So I'm happy with, yes, thank you, Rosemary, for doing some research while we were playing. I'm going to actually type this up. And I think he took you shopping the day before he died. Oh my goodness. That is so sad. Very sad. But sometimes, you know, they don't want you to know how bad they are because they don't want you to worry. So, all right, I'm going to type up these instructions. So this is using regular cardstock. Add cardstock. So now let's try these with the, yes, I will share it because you all helped. All right. Juju, welcome. You are up late for a work night, my dear. Yeah, Donna, I agree that is a good memory to cherish. Marjorie, having been through it, I don't, if it happened to me again, I don't know if I would want to go through treatment. Chemo is hard. I did it for 8 months. Chemo is hard. Well, welcome, Juju. I've been watching for some of your videos. I haven't checked the last couple of days. How is your new job working out for you? I know it's early in the morning for you, but hopefully things are going pretty well. All right, so we'll make something out of this. At least we know you're still around, Juju. We're playing with this foiling system and some alternate methods of using embossing folders rather than foiling plates. Well, I'm glad the job is going good. Hopefully you're challenged but not overwhelmed. And Marjorie, that's basically what you need to do. Annie, yeah, that combination, radiation and chemotherapy, I didn't have to do any radiation, so. All right, we're waiting here. This one's got a little bit more distressed looking on it. I don't think it's really going to matter. I should probably cut another piece too. Rosemary, thank you for your help getting this figured out. Sleep well. And then I'm going to cut another piece of that super smooth paper. And I have to add some more to my shopping cart because all this experimentation, I'm going to run out of it. You know, and these are things that, you know, people don't necessarily see when they look at us. That's why we should just try to be nice people. Be nice humans. You never know what somebody's going through. Sandra, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks again for the Happy Mail. That wasn't Happy Meal, it was Happy Mail. All right, I have to put some of this foiling paper in my cart before I forget. And I think I'm going to put 2. Will it let me? We'll see. We'll see. My shopping cart's really full because I had to order. Happy Meals are good once in a while too, right? I had to order some scrapbooking kits, so at least I don't have to pay for it all myself because it's for a class. So, all right, okay, so that's ready. We're gonna do this to preheat or to heat up the dye more. Even though I put the dye on already, it doesn't hurt that it gets heated a little bit more. Heating the embossing folder a little bit more is a thing. And maybe this is a good thing now that we've got the reverse plate, because the last time I know I did not have a reverse plate, and running it through heating up the embossing folder does warp it a little bit. But I'll be sure once we run it through another time, excuse me, I'll be sure to make it flat. And Marjorie, I don't know if you mentioned that about, I think you did mention something about your mother-in-law. I don't have a note here though, because I think we were talking about it. Oh, and I didn't realize my screen was a little off center the whole time there, a little cockeyed. Annie, and I think you have mentioned that you're her caregiver, because I think I called you a blessing, that she was blessed that she had you there to take care of her. And she's not in the care of, you know, strangers necessarily. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to put this shiny side down. Oh, and this I don't even have to worry about using the embossing folder because we've already got the design. Whew. I don't know what the first one, Allie? I mean, I'm familiar with lupus. I don't know what the other one is. Oh, good night, Yuta. I'm sorry. I almost missed that. Yeah, a friend of ours, her husband, is considerably older than her, and she's dealing with his Alzheimer's right now. And it's really quite sad. All right, so let's scooch this over. Put this through. Put this through. No. No, 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 no. I'm messing myself up here. Am I messing myself up? No, we're doing the reverse. All right. I need my green shim and so I need the green shim and I need the regular foiling plate because this is one where we're just using the background. We're just using the leftover. All right, so we're just going to run this through and it should be fine. Encephalitis. Did I say that right? Myalgic encephalitis. Encephalitis. With all these weird things, sometimes I really wonder the underlying cause. All right, let's see if this worked. Okay, I am going to take my piece of cellophane tape, remember? And we are going to peel this off. I just wonder if I should run it through a second time. It looks a little grainy. I want to make sure that it adheres. Let's just see what it does. Some of it's not, some of it's still attached. So I'm going to run this through a second time, I think. And we're just going to see what happens. I'm going to run it through the embossing folder a second time. I think maybe it doesn't have quite enough pressure. So maybe this is where I need to try plate number 3 because that super smooth paper is not as thick as cardstock. All right, let's do green again. I just want to try to get a little bit more pressure. I don't know if that's giving me more pressure or not. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it really had any more. And it probably had a little bit less. So let's try this with a little cardstock shim. You know, you see some of these commercials for medications, and it's like, okay, all of the things that, it's almost like the side effects are worse than what you're taking the medication for. Okay, so this is a little more snug, but let's just see. It went through okay. Holy cow, Annie. Let's see if this is going to stick better now. It's not quite as pretty as some of the other pieces, but once we run it through the embossing folder, maybe it won't matter. There's actually quite a bit of foil that got left on here, even with the super smooth synthetic paper. And even running it through a second time, it didn't lift some of that off. All right, I'm gonna put this on heat mode again, but I'm gonna take this plate off. And where's my little cooling? Here we go. We're gonna take this off and let it cool off a little bit and see what it needs to do here. Now, does anybody else have... Wow, Annie, you've been through the ringer. Does anybody else have some of these, I don't know, they're like plugs or something on, can you see those? I just wonder if it's because I'm running it through with with alternate things. It's almost like I'm pushing up. I hope I'm not going to ruin it. I'll have to kind of follow along some other people and see if they're having similar issues with that coming up. And I'm sure it won't be covered by any warranty if I mess it up because I'm not using the intended plates. Because this one was here before, but this one is kind of like new tonight. So it might be from the extra, pressure. Roz, have you been playing with alternate things at all? I didn't notice those when I first got it, so I think it's because I'm doing other stuff with it. All right, so that's warming up. What did I do with my other foiling piece? Here it is. All right, so that's all ready to go like so. And then let's go ahead. I'm going to move this out of the way. Yeah, I'm going rogue. Alrighty. We are going to scooch this over and we're going to try to line this up in the embossing folder. So I think we're like right about like so. I think that looks pretty good. So Allie, how do they figure out a diagnosis for that? I mean, did you have a smart doctor or did they just finally rule out all kinds of other things? Stampin' Up! Has not done any videos using embossing folders, just demonstrators have, because the machines are not intended to be done with embossing folders. And because I'm getting these little bumps in here, I may limit my embossing folder usage. All right, and then we already peeled the top of that off. So that's still pretty, but I think this is prettier because we did it on cardstock. Holy cow. That's a mouthful, Annie. Yeah, these are really pretty. This one on white I think is a little boring, personally. But we got one more to run, I guess. Because I have this one last piece that's here. All right, so let's do Juju. Do you believe I have run out of Cajun Craze cardstock? I have like 5 scraps. All right, so if we've got, I'm just gonna do 4. And I'm gonna do 5 1/4. I know, right, Juju? But it'll be here Friday. I already ordered more. It's already on order. Not to worry. And then I think we're gonna do the pecan pie card base. So if we do this, all right, let's do this. I'm trying to multitask here. Press that. All right, so if we do this here, and I'm gonna cut this down, trimmer. Yeah, no kidding. Who can keep track anymore with all that going on? So I'm gonna do, if we take this off, and if I take the bottom edge off, that's gonna put us at about 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 is 3/4 down, 4 1/4. I think that takes us to 3 1/2 for a nice layer size. I'm gonna hang on to this just because it's pretty and it might make a good strip for like the inside of the card. That looks okay, but I think I'm gonna put texture on this. I think we need texture. Yeah, the problem with some of those surgeries is, okay, you leave the cervix, do you end up with cervical cancer? Do you leave an ovary behind? Do you end up with ovarian cancer? You know, man. All right, I guess we're back to this because this is beeping at us. All right, let's just get this back up. We're going to take this off. We're going to put this on here. We're going to use the green and the clear. So the green goes on first, then the clear, and I think I'm going to put, because this was not, well, it might have been enough pressure. Maybe I just didn't like it. Wow, I'm just reading some of these comments. Blepharoplasty surgeries. Blepharoplasty. Well, it's great to have a good support system, people that take care of us. Oh, I just got a shock. All right. And again, I'm going to take, now this seems like it adhered pretty good without doing the second time through. Let me get my cellophane tape. We're going to peel that off. Now that one worked out pretty good. So I just used the standard plate. I didn't use any extra stuff. Marjorie, now I forgot. Are you bedridden? Or you're just kind of confined to the bed quite frequently? All right, I need to run these through the embossing folder. All right, I almost forgot that step. And thank you for the compliment. It's crazy how many illnesses there are out there and how many things get misdiagnosed or undiagnosed. And how sometimes when you ask the medical professionals, oh, these I have to stack these up again because they got messed up. Aren't these so cute? I figured we all could use a drink. All right. And then if you ask questions, they tell you to get off WebMD. That's not how it is. That's not very common. I've heard that more times than I can count. Because I don't necessarily take every doctor's word as gospel. All right, my embossing folder was a little bit off, but that is gorgeous. All right, and then let's run this one through too so that they're all ready. Now that I kind of was putting my piece of paper in about the same place, it's making it easier to figure out where I need to line it up. I think that's pretty close. Let's just, come on. I think that'll have to be pretty close. That'll have to work. I've heard of that before. The eyelid muscles. Yeah, and attitude Roz is so very important. I know when I was going through my cancer and I didn't want people to know I was sick, and I had told one of the doctors, I'm like, and I was only in my mid-30s when I was going through that. And I said, well, only the good die young, and quite honestly, I'm a bitch, so I'm not going anywhere. And we laughed because what else are you going to do? You know, you got cancer. All right, so that turned out okay. I'm not as happy with these reverse ones as I had hoped. Yeah, Denise, that's, your eyesight is so important, you know? And when you have things that interfere, like the droopy eyelids, you know, me, I had quite extensive surgery to remove melanoma from my face around my eye. And I need to put that on the cooling piece. And that was just in 2018. So they cut off about a quarter of my face and had to shift all kinds of skin around, and it's not fun. All right, so this I'm going to, they are still pretty. Don't get me wrong, they're still pretty. I like them. I like these better though. What did I do with the other one? The one that I kind of laid out with all the card things. It's here somewhere. But I want to put this kind of under here, maybe. I don't want it to get super hot, but I want it to be warm. Oh yeah, I think it's time you changed your contact lenses. Yeah, that's kind of a long time. All right, I don't know if I want to, I think it'll be okay. That's still warm. All right, let's see if I can finish something here. What a crazy night, hey? Here it is. Is this it? Yeah. Oh, I know. I wanted to put texture on this. I'm going to put that over there. Let me go see if I can find that linen-y looking embossing folder. Well, Juju, just so you know, we've missed you. All right. And every time we see these premium Stampin' Spots, they are adorable, aren't they? You need to take a drink of whatever it is. You need to take a few sips of whatever it is you're drinking. All right, so let's run this through. I feel like Bossy Bessie is like taking over the show here. All right. Here I thought I was done with her. I put all my plates away. Whoops. Well, that's kind of a sad story, Roz. I probably should have spritzed my paper first. Remember we did this the other night? And we ended up with all kinds of white pieces. We did. All right, let me put this over here. I need to go get my blending brush and my Cajun Craze because we're going to take those white marks away. Bossy Bessie was afraid of the hot foil. Juju, I think you're right. Now, this because I'm using two-tone cardstock because I'm out of my Cajun Craze. I have never run out of Cajun Craze before. But I don't like all the white parts in there. And even when we spritzed it the other night, we still got that white core showing through. So I'm just going to use the blending brush to camouflage those. Yeah, sometimes the load seems like a lot, but, you know, you've already gotten through every one of the worst days of your life so far, so there we go. Because you're still here. Yeah, right, Roz? She didn't have so much faith in you. I just do not want all that white showing through. I could have left it, but it doesn't thrill me. Yeah, Roz, you and I have talked about that before. Drink, drink, drink is just water. So I'm doing water. When Rosemary is here, she has Pellegrino, sparkling water. I very seldom drink alcohol. My grandfather was an alcoholic, killed himself. My dad is an alcoholic. He admits it, but he doesn't really drink anymore. My brother was an alcoholic. He died in a car crash where he was at fault because he was excessively drunk. Killed himself and his girlfriend and injured 3 other people in the other car that he hit. My uncle's an alcoholic and can't work because he's fried his liver. Yeah, so I've never been drunk in my life. People don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. Donna, good for you. Right, Roz? God's not done with us yet. We're still here. Let's see. Okay, so this is flattening out pretty nicely. All right. So I'm not too worried about that. I did put it under the warmth of the foiling machine. It's still pretty warm, but I don't think it's transferring that much heat anymore. Maybe I should just leave it there for a few more minutes. All right, so here we go. I think that adds just a little personality to this. And I think maybe I want it a little canted maybe. We'll do something a little different. This piece might need to be just a little bit smaller. So because of all of this texture, if I run this through my trimmer, it's going to get all chewed up. So what I am going to do is take a piece of, this happens to be a grid sheet that I use for my classes, but I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to cut off, let's start with 1/8. Oh my goodness, Allie. All right, that way these rough edges on here aren't going to get caught up in my blade and get ruined. All right, so here we're going to take off about 1/8 inch here as well. And let's just see. Late night shenanigans. All right. I think that's a better size for that layer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the edge of this because I don't want the white core to show. Okay. Well, that could be, Annie. All right. I'm happier with that than I was before. So we can put this here, this here, but I also want to get, I'm going to go get some of that white ribbon, and I'm going to color it Cajun Craze, I think. We've got new white ribbon. This experimentation stuff takes a long time, doesn't it? Well, it's better not to lie, Allie. Just saying. All right. Let's see. Ribbon. I was going to color ribbon. And I think we're going to make not a bow. So let's color this first. I wish they would have white ribbon more, because then we can have ribbon of every single color we want, or that we have alcohol blends for. Yeah, Roz, I hear you. All right, and I'm going to flip this over because I'm making that not a bow. Some of this didn't seep through all the way, so I want to make sure that I've got color on both sides, because both sides of the ribbon may end up being exposed. All right, hopefully, yeah, that'll be long enough. Marjorie, you're a hoot. First, you're sliding in sideways. That's funny. This is still a little damp. Okay, I think that'll be good. Let's go ahead and cut this off. And then I'm going to cut. Oh, I won't even need to cut that off because that'll be in the back of the card. All right, let's get a bone folder. You've seen me do this knot a bow before. And I don't want it necessarily in the center. Yeah, you can stamp on ribbon too. Like you can stamp words and stuff. You just have to make sure that you give it plenty of time to dry, because your ink pads, of course, are not alcohol. They're water-based, so sometimes it takes longer to dry. I still have some of the old soft seafoam ribbon. I kind of like how that looks because the flat part's here. I think I might just leave it like this time. I'll put this around here. This can go on here. We'll get a little sentiment. That looks kind of cute. All right, so let's put these two layers together. Oh, Marjorie, I'm glad you tried it. Did you do that before you've seen me do it, or was that a new try from having been hanging out with us? Just curious. All right, so this is going to go like so. And this I'm going to try to put, whoops, pretty straight. I think that'll be pretty good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. That makes me feel good that you're trying some new things that you wouldn't have done otherwise. All right, and then let's put a little bit of glue on here. Oops. And maybe I should leave those corners up a little bit and kind of distress them a little bit. Now I need to make sure I don't glue this on backwards because undo doesn't work quite as well on a fully glued layer, right? We discovered that. Oh, that was silly. Let's put this on here. How come nobody reminded me? Whoops, and I just ripped that. So I'm going to put some tear and tape down here. Oh, thanks, Juju. Appreciate it. I knew I could count on somebody. All right, so let's just put this down here. At least I caught it. Thanks, Marjorie. You all are so helpful. And then I'm laying this right on top of the glue. Oh my goodness. I think today I didn't get a nap. I didn't get enough sleep last night. And I probably shouldn't be crafting at like 2 in the morning because I'm not as fresh as I should have been. Of course, we struggled with that foiling on embossing folder. Come on. No, my tear and tape doesn't want to let go. Come on, you dirty dog. There we go. I know, Roz. I know. And Annie, it's even later. Right, Annie? Because I think for Annie, it's even an hour later. Oh my goodness, that won't let go of me. All right. So now let's put this back on here. My fingers are getting all full of glue. Well, at least this is going to look good when we're done, I think. And I am just going to put a little piece of tape right around here because these edges are coming apart. And I just want to give it a little reinforcement. Well, at least you made it, Marjorie. All right, let's try this again. And I need to try to wipe my fingers off a little bit. They are super sticky. A little bit of lava soap. You slept from, well, you got a couple of hours nap, Roz. Yeah, I was too busy to, oh, I know what else took my afternoon. I was making name tags or bag tags for our granddaughter because she needs them for school. For her backpack and her lunch bag. All right, I'm going to put more glue on this. It's tacky, but I just feel like I need a little bit more glue because I can't see it much anymore. Once it becomes translucent like that, it does kind of become like a repositionable sticker, but not quite the look I was going for if it comes off, you know? Oh, the Pretty Poinsettia. I have not used that yet. I bought the Stampin' Up! Class and I haven't watched it yet. I need to take care of that. I think we're good there. Now, let's see. All right. No adhesive issues there. All right. These are going to be made into similar type cards, but not tonight. All right. Let's move our little fake shim out. We can move this back. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. We can clean up the ribbon. I need to find a sentiment, so that's why I'm kind of clearing some space here. We can get rid of that piece of garbage. And there should be another embossing folder somewhere. Here it is. We'll get that put away. Yeah, a lot of times Allie's little highlight reel, I think Facebook might do those automatically. The little highlight reel will come across my feed So I'll take a quick look when that comes through, and then if I have time at that moment, then I will click in to see the full video. So here's the embossing folder. It's fine. It's pretty well flattened out. Pam, welcome. We're still here. I'm just trying to clean up a few things so I can find a sentiment. My wrapper doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. You just subscribe to Allie, Marjorie? Oh, you're a demo again, Pam. Yes, signing up does save you a lot of money. Not as much as you originally thought. Well, that's only because that first, when you do, I forgot, are you in the United States or where are you? I don't remember. I'm looking to see if I can find a note. You're in Seattle. Okay. So that first $125, you don't get a discount. That just is it. After that is when you start getting your discount. So congratulations. All right, I'm going to hang on to this and type that up and share that. Let me move. I've just got a few more things I need to get out of here because it's causing me a little bit of stress to have all this clutter that you folks can't see, but I can. One of these days I might do, well, I got those new shelves, but I haven't put them together yet. So I may do some before and after pictures. Yeah, Seattle. I found my note actually before I read your message. Okay. I thought we could use this. This is, I believe, on the last chance list. I didn't feel like it was that old. Yeah. This was a $20 stamp set. It's on the last chance list for $12. And if you're a demonstrator, you get your discount too. Currently watching. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know if it fits with this. Because currently it's going to be kind of big. This is kind of a, oh, you even had leftover credits. That's always a nice surprise. That currently is really big. This is kind of a scrapbooking. You can tell I haven't even used this. There was just so much stuff I wanted. I've just been flying through some stuff. All right, that's got to go over here. All right, let's see if we can find a little sentiment. I wonder if there's like a that's probably not going to look very pretty. These are all the these are ephemera pieces. What if we did like best wishes? I could add a little color to that. Maybe, let's see. I don't want to make it too dark, but we'll add just a hint of Cajun craze. Just to take that white off, that white shockingness. My fingers are getting a little Cajun crazed. Oh, Roz, I just now saw your message. Yes. I'm on it. I don't know. Do we like that? Is that all right? Here. I would have to look at a map. Or an atlas or whatever. So we like it with that little bit of color on there. Cool. This is all cooled off. I'm going to move this out of the way. Put this away. I'm going to get some embellishments. We'll put this up on some dimensionals. The mess is making me a little crazy. Good night, Juju. Good to see you. See you. And then these have to get put away as well. I gotta type that up for our little alternate plan. I think the alternate plan is actually going to be easier on the embossing folders because they're not going to heat as long. So I think that'll be very good. And then let's go ahead. Maybe we'll use some dark ones. Some dark dimensionals. Sometimes us crafters, we just can't help ourselves, right? We know we should be in bed. We know we should be getting rest. But, you know, you get up and it's like, no, I gotta peek and see if they're online. All right. I like that, actually. I think it works out all right. Let me see about some embellishments now. Now, if we put gold, it's going to be crazy busy. But if we do these are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. I think I looked these up. I think we can still get these. Oh, we can't. Use something from your stash like me. So, something like this. And I'm just going to color them. I did this the other night, and oh no, because that's going to look like copper. No, I think it'll be all right because that's Cajun craze. It'll be all right. Last night we were doing it for this one because there was copper foiling. It'll be fine. We have mod pizzas around here, but I've never had it. Is it good pizza? Anybody who's had it? We have, it's a little bit of a hike, but Lou Malnati's. Has anybody heard of them? Oh, mixed metals is all the rage? Okay. Well, these aren't, well, they are going to kind of look like metal, but. If you have to think about it too much, you probably don't need them, right? I think we're just going to go right there. All right. That was a lot of work. So sorry these are retired, but use something from your stash that you can color to match whatever it is you're making. And now we know here's the process for doing the embossing folder with foiling on it. We did a couple of alternate methods, but this is what kind of worked. All right, so if you need to take a screenshot of that too, you can. Don't forget about these. Aren't these adorable? All right, we'll put those right there. Take a sip of something healthy. Tulip. Blaze Pizza in Florida. I think I've seen that when we've been down there. Lou Malinotti's has this butter crust pizza. It takes them about an hour to make. It's super thick. And the pizza is really cheap. It's a pan pizza, obviously, if it's got that thick of a crust. Yeah, I got my water. But if you've got the time to wait, it's wicked good pizza if you like thick crust pizza. All right. Thank you, Donna. Tulip. Never heard of it. So if I'm going to be in the Seattle area, what's a good place to go to for dinner? Like, I think on a Thursday night. Thank you, Roz. Thank you all, actually, for being so patient. It was a challenge. It was a struggle. But we made it through. Thanks to Rosemary, who looked up. She did a little research for us. New York style pizza in the middle of Texas. I've been out to New York, and the New York style pizza they have are those the really big pizzas, and you kind of fold them in half so you can eat them. Thanks for hanging out with us, Donna. It's always good to have you around, interacting with us. I'm going to put these over here. These are so cute. All right, so here's our card for tonight. Thank you all for being so patient while we figured it out. And if Rosemary comes back for the replay, thank you so much, Rosemary, for helping figure it out. I know the first time I played with it, I did not have that reverse plate. So for the inside, I'll do a layer of that Cajun Craze. I will emboss it, and then I might put another layer of the Golden Glow and then put a layer of white in there. It's going to make it a little thicker and heavier, so I might need extra postage. So layer what you see fit, or maybe I'll just do this. I'll put the Cajun Craze two-tone cardstock through the embossing folder. I'll put it in here with a white piece for whatever I want to write, and I'll put this in just as a little accent. I think that would work. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And I need to get to the right screen here. There we go. Okay, Seattle has a lot of the restaurants. Not really the person, because you're not an adventurous eater. I'm pretty picky too. If I can't identify it, I have a difficult time eating it. Good night, Roz. Good night, Marjorie. Thanks for the pixie dust. Pam, thanks for hanging out with us. Good night. All right, anybody that's left, thank you for joining me. I appreciate all your patience while we played around. I hope it was fun. Hopefully you laughed at me a little bit. Good night, Allie. So until next time, everybody, happy crafting. Yeah, good night, John Boy.